Now, the Hunt Palmer Show.
Waiting to rise again.
You're listening to the Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from downtown Baton Rouge, this is Hunt Palmer.
Hour 2, Friday edition Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Working towards the weekend. If you've already clocked out, congratulations. Enjoy that weekend. If you're not yet done with the work week, we'll get you to the finish line here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Remind you, on Football Fridays, our schedule goes from 7 a.m. until about 9 o'clock p.m., live and local right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. We start things off with OTB 7 to 10. They're over at Rouse's on Football Fridays. Then they hand the baton to the gang live at lunch from Rufino's 10 to 1. I'm here 1 to 3 on the Hunt Palmer Show. Matt, AFR 3 to 6. And then Kay Wassam is there from 6 to 6:45 with Louisiana Prep Preview, getting ready for the high school action around the state. Catholic High football starts up 6:45, 7 o'clock kickoff for Catholic. Big game for the Bears tonight, and they're done about 9 o'clock. So 7 a.m., 9 o'clock, lock us in.
Who's
every
Catholic
Friday.
Playing?
I think it's St. Thomas More. They were talking about it earlier today, and I know Catholic's got a big game. I know U-High's in the Dome against Rummel.
Yeah.
And I know that Carr is playing like American Heritage out of Florida. So like some really big time weekend in South Louisiana for football. Speaking of big time weekends, big weekend in SEC play.
Yeah.
I've got some good news and some bad news back. What would you like first?
Let's do the bad news first.
I was 2-9 last week. That's
yes, you were.
But the good news is we did have a winning week the first week, so it's just 8-14. We're 6 under 500.
Yeah.
I'm picking 10 games.
Okay.
We go 7-3 this week. We chip into that. We're only 2 games below 500 for the year.
Oh yeah, you just got to win 7.
I just got to win 7 out of 10. That's easy money.
Easy.
I was awful in school when I could get 70% most of the time. So all I got to do is get 7 out of 10. There's only one way to get 7 out of 10. That's to be just dominant with your picks in a given week. Let's start it up. SEC against the number. There's the music. Here come the picks. 11 o'clock. ESPN 2. Oklahoma is at Temple. Why? Nobody knows. Hangover spot for the Sooners? Could be. Temple's 2-0. They've won their 2 games 97-17. They played Howard and UMass. Hangover for OU? I don't think so. OU's defense is legit. I will lay the 23.5 with the Sooners up in Philly. Also at 11 o'clock, ABC, Wisconsin at Alabama. 20.5 is a massive number in this game. Now, Wisconsin quarterback Billy Edwards Jr. is doubtful in this game. Got a sprained knee. The reports are he will not play. I think Bama is not really great on offense. Wisconsin's decent on defense. Get a couple of stops, 20.5. Bucky Badger in Tuscaloosa. Give me Wisconsin. 11:45 SEC Network. South Alabama Jaguars at Auburn. 24.5 is the number on this one. South Alabama allowed 21 points to Morgan State and 33 to Tulane. I think Auburn's going to score a lot in this game. I will take Auburn minus the 24.5. Not a hangover spot for Auburn anyway here. Give me the Tigers at home minus 24.5. Noon, ESPN Plus. Louisiana Lafayette is at Missouri. I kind of like Missouri as a bully. When Missouri's got more talent, Eli's got a bit of an edge to him. They like to score some points, throw it around a little bit. I'll lay the 27.5 with Missouri against the Ragin' Cajuns. Give me Eli and the Tigers. 2:30 ABC, monster game in the Southeastern Conference. Number 5, Georgia at number 15, Tennessee. The number here, 3.5. Georgia's favored on the road. Tennessee has not stood up to Georgia's physical play. Here are the final scores for this high-flying Josh Heupel offense against Georgia in recent years. 31-17 Georgia, 38-10 Georgia, 27-13 Georgia, 41-17 Georgia. They are holding Tennessee under 20 in every game. They're out physically on offense. They're running the football on them. Tennessee just gets punched in the face, and I just don't think that they're going to be able to withstand Georgia's physicality. And I love this thing that Kirby Smart does. On the scouting report of the other team with a depth chart, he puts a little peach with all the Georgia natives that go elsewhere. Tennessee's apparently got a lot of them. They don't like that in Athens. I think they're going to be fired up. I think they're going to go to Knoxville. I think they cover the 3.5 points on the road. UTEP is at Texas, 40.5. UTEP scored 16 points at Utah State. Can they get to 10 points against Texas? I don't think so. I got Texas minus 40.5. I think they just score 1 billion in this game on UTEP. I'm not picking Mississippi State hosting Alcorn. Enjoy the weekend, Cowbells. You earned it last week. Let's go to 6 o'clock. Night slate. Arkansas is at Ole Miss, 6.5. I've got a little kid, right? They touch the stove. You tell them, don't touch the stove. It's hot. You figure that out pretty quickly, right? Don't leave your hand on the stove, right? I keep picking Lane Kiffin to cover. He doesn't cover. I pick him as the lock of the year last week at Kentucky. He doesn't cover. Do I keep my hand on the stove? Yes, I do. I do keep my hand on the stove. I take Ole Miss. I lay the 6.5 against Arkansas, who can't be good. If Lane doesn't cover this, Ole Miss is doomed this year because there's no way Arkansas is good. And it's in Oxford. Lay the 6.5. 6:30 on NBC. Texas A&M, number 16 in the country, at Notre Dame, number 8 in the country. The Aggies need to be better on defense. UTSA had a bat go for 177 yards on them, including a huge run. Allowing 23 points to UTSA, Utah State, is just not good. But Notre Dame didn't really run the ball in Miami, 93 yards on 28 carries. I think that Notre Dame's got great uniforms. I think that Texas A&M thinks they're wearing cool uniforms this week with the all-whites. No, you look stupid because you have no tradition, and I don't think you're going to win this game. But I do think you're going to cover the 6.5. Give me Texas A&M plus the 6.5. I'm not betting on Kentucky. Can't pick Kentucky. They're playing Eastern Michigan. The number's 25.5. I cannot pick Kentucky unless they play Eastern Michigan. Eastern Michigan lost 52-27 to Texas State and lost to Long Island by 5 points last week. Kentucky stoops minus 25.5 in the big grocery store. I'm picking Kentucky. That feels like a terrible move. Eastern Michigan, they're awful. And then the nightcap, 6:45, SEC Network, Vanderbilt at South Carolina. This is going to be a slugfest. Vandy ran 37 times for 262 yards on Virginia Tech. South Carolina's tough and physical, 32nd in the country in run defense. Both quarterbacks want to make plays off schedule. Lenora Sellers, Diego Pavia, they want to run around. They want to make plays. They want to run the football. This is going to be an awesome football game. I don't think anybody that's an LSU fan is going to watch it because LSU's got their own business to take care of at this time slot. But it's going to be a good one in Columbia. Numbers 3.5. Vanderbilt and the points.
Anchor down.
3.5. Diego Pavia. This is going to be a close game. I like the points either way. Give me Vanderbilt to cover in a dogfight. I will take the Doors plus the 3.5. So, if you're keeping score at home, my 7-10 week this week is Oklahoma minus 23.5. Oklahoma minus 23.5. Wisconsin plus 20.5. Auburn minus 24.5. Missouri minus 27.5. Georgia minus 3.5. Texas minus 40.5. Ole Miss minus 6.5. The Aggies catching 6.5. Kentucky laying 25.5. Ooh, that sounds awful. And the Vanderbilt Commodores getting 3.5 points in South Carolina. That could be 10-0.
That's a lot of favorites, Hunt.
I usually take favorites.
You do.
And that's how I get over 500.
No, it's how you went 2-9 last week.
I probably took some points last week.
You probably did, but
I don't have my sheet anymore. I threw it away.
And I just replaced the picks from last week with this week.
That's okay. But look, I got Vandy as a dog.
I like it.
I've got A&M as a dog.
Don't like it.
I've got Wisconsin as a dog.
I like it.
That's all the dogs I got. I got 7 favorites.
Don't like A&M.
Why?
Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame is actually pretty good.
Who's Notre Dame's quarterback?
I don't know.
Who's Notre Dame's offensive coordinator?
No idea.
Mike Denbrock, Jaden Daniels' offensive coordinator.
No,
Who has better uniforms in that game? Notre Dame, Plastic Homes. What about A&M, icy whites with the script?
I mean, it's not even a close.
I had to get at Marler on Twitter today.
Notre Dame has some of the best uniforms in college football.
Yeah. He was like, this is sick. Aggies by 1 million. I said, gimmick, all white, stupid uniforms with no tradition.
CJ Carr, freshman.
There you go.
That's right.
Lloyd Carr's grandson.
Couldn't forget about him.
Versus the Golden Dome's touchdown Jesus. This is a landslide uniform victory for Notre Dame.
I'm pretty surprised. I mean, look, 6.5 is kind of a big number.
It's huge.
It is, but still, I mean, Notre Dame for home opener, they're going to be going crazy.
I have watched A&M play these two patsies the last 2 weeks because they played in the morning. It's the only window I can watch because I got pregame show, game, postgame. Their defense has looked stinky, and I don't expect that from a Mike Elko team.
And by the way, Notre Dame coming off a bye. They didn't play last week.
Yeah.
So they're going to be rested up. They're going to be ready to go at home. No.
Aggies plus 6.5. I always take the underdogs. Love taking points.
Always, yeah, absolutely. You're only laying like a combined 200 points right now this week. You're laying 26.5, 40.5, 27.5, 24.5, 23.5. That's like 400 points.
We like that.
Yeah.
Look, how many games in September are 65-10? A bajillion.
Okay, maybe some, but
do you think Wisconsin can stay in it? I have
yes,
them.
I do. I do think so. At home,
they could be bad though. It's Wisconsin. Luke Fickell has really not gotten that going at all.
No, he's in trouble too. He may be on the hot seat.
He doesn't have his quarterback. I need Ty Simpson to be terrible. I need that stadium booing. I want toxicity in Tuscaloosa. They got going. Ty Simpson had a perfect game last week. Didn't throw an incompletion. Everybody felt good about it. I need them to come back to the crisis situation.
I think Alabama's offense is probably not that good, and I think Wisconsin's defense is going to be good enough to where they can keep it within 3 scores.
We'll see.
3 touchdowns, I should say.
Should I be betting on Kentucky? That's really a question a lot of people are asking.
No, you should not. Absolutely not. No.
Eastern Michigan, they lost by 30 to Texas State.
It does not matter, Hunt.
Texas State. What's their mascot?
Texas State, the Bobcats.
That's right.
When is the last time Kentucky has scored more than like 40? Have they ever scored more than 50 points in a game ever?
Calipari had them scoring 90.
Well, that's true. They scored 20.
Mark Pope, great coach.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Okay, they scored 23 against Ole Miss, 24 against Toledo. The Rockets are pretty good, so I'll give them that.
The Rockets are not good.
No, the Rockets are good. They're usually the best MAC team.
Exactly. They're a MAC team. They stink.
They didn't break 40 last year. Okay, sorry. They scored 48 against the Racers, Murray State.
Murray State. Coach
FCS
McMahon.
team.
John Morant. All right. Let's talk LSU-Florida next.
Oops.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Would you like to hear right before the live read? Oops.
At a dinner party, I heard a guy say,
there you go.
Can I do the live now?
Yes.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team. 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Look, safety is a big deal in the bathroom, especially as folks age. If you've got an aging loved one you think may need some assistance in the bathroom to try to mitigate against some catastrophe, David Duvall and his team can do what they can. They can put in non-slip floors. They can put in walk-in tubs that are more convenient and safer, put benches and showers, guardrails around slippery areas. These are things you might not think about day to day, but it could be a big, big deal, especially as folks age. So contact David and say, hey, just like to take a look at this. And he's happy to have that free consultation, sit down with you. That doesn't cost you a thing. And if you decide to go through with it and want to have financing available, they've got it. 0% up to 18 months. Same as cash if you qualify. It's One Bath and Closets. You can find them online. OneBathAndClosets.com.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Friday shows brought to you by Corks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp. Check out that menu, corksfishandshrimp.com, for your tailgates all season long. Don't be afraid to reach out to the folks at Corks. You can have those delicious trays of crispy fried catfish, jumbo Gulf shrimp, shoestring fries, coleslaw, honey butter rolls, all the fixins, including the sauces. Got to go with the Corks sauce. I know tartar sauce, great. Cocktail sauce, good in its own right. People love ketchup. My kid eats ketchup by the spoonful. But go with the Corks sauce over at Corks. Government between Foster and Jefferson, corksfishandshrimp.com. All right, LSU in Florida from Tiger Stadium Saturday night in Death Valley. We've analyzed a lot of this game. One thing I haven't talked a lot about is LSU's passing game. And I thought LSU's passing game was pretty damn good at Clemson. It was efficient. It was effective. And if you credit Berry and Brown with that touchdown, the statistics really do look good. That's going to add another 30 yards to get Nussmeier up close to 300. You're going to toss in a second touchdown. That's a good day on the road for LSU in the passing game, but that didn't happen. The passing game stunk last week. It just did. Nussmeier was inaccurate. He threw the wounded duck interception to start the game. He missed reads. He missed some throws. Kyle Parker dropped the ball in the end zone. Like, they were just bad in the passing game last week. And LSU cannot be bad in the passing game. Like, there are times they may struggle to run the ball. And that's just part of what this team is. And it may be an Achilles heel for them. It may not be, but that's going to be expected with this offensive line. If the strength of your team, your 4,000-yard, fifth-year senior quarterback, who's a projected first-round pick who wears 18, and the toys that you've got on the outside with Aaron Anderson and Barryon Brown and Chris Hilton and Nick Anderson and Kyle Parker and Xavier Thomas and all these guys, and then when Trey'Dez Green gets back, if that fails, you will not succeed. When your strength deserts you, you've got big problems. Because LSU's second pitch here, which is the running game and the screen game, like it's not going to carry you. You've got to get the ball down the field. Last year, Garrett Nussmeier and this LSU team were elite on third down. Elite on third down. You were sixth in the country in third down conversions. And that was not because you pounded away at teams and were constantly in 3rd and 2. That's because you had a quarterback, a wide receiver group, and an offensive line that were able to consistently pick up that 6-8 yard play that you needed. Mason Taylor was a big part of that. Kyron Lacey was a big part of that. But you've got enough guys on this team to make that happen. Now, I was concerned with Garrett Nussmeier's that interception he threw last week. I didn't see him miss a throw like that all year. And we asked him about it on Tuesday. He said, just happens. Quarterback, you miss a throw. Maybe that's true, but I did not like what I saw. Florida, in 2 games this year, faced essentially a triple option team in Long Island. They were in the shotgun, but it's basically a triple option offense. And then they faced a South Florida team that has a good quarterback, but he's very athletic and runs around. They have not seen anything like this LSU offense. That doesn't mean they can't stop LSU's offense. What all I mean by that is this is a completely different look than what Florida has seen this year. And what LSU saw from Clemson was a Clemson team that was playing 2 high safeties against LSU's passing game, and it was a real quick passing game in and out to LSU. Then last week, Louisiana Tech sat back in a shell, and they just were content to let LSU get short gains at a time, and Garrett Nussmeier got a little aggressive and tried to go down the field a little bit too much. And look, all we talked about all last week was, hey, this is your chance to get the vertical passing game going. And it didn't really work out. But you need to make some plays through the air in this game on Saturday night. Like, and some of it, I was listening to Richard Dixon on Live at Lunch earlier today, and he was talking about watching the tape, and Garrett Nussmeier just wasn't taking what was there. He was forcing the ball. And what I will say about that is there are very few quarterbacks that I can remember covering at LSU that I have more confidence in to take a look at that tape and make that significant adjustment of, hey, if we need to throw it at the line of scrimmage or throw a 3-yard pass to get 6-8 yards, let's do that. I know it's important that LSU get the downfield passing game going. We talked about it all last week. That helps you out in the running game. That makes big plays. That gets the stadium going. That's important. But you can't abandon your strength to do it. And I think Garrett Nussmeier's strength as a college quarterback is playing point guard, just distributing the ball here and there to these really good players. Make Florida go tackle these guys. Make them tackle Aaron Anderson. Make them tackle Barryon Brown. Make them tackle Chris Hilton. Make them tackle Bauer Sharp. Make them tackle Caden Durham. Make them tackle Harlem Berry. And if they do it, make them do it again. It's important to get this passing game going. Here's the deal. I am not super confident in LSU's ability to run the ball in this game against Florida. When you look at Caleb Downs and you look at Tyreek Sapp and you look at the guys that Florida has on this front and then you look at LSU's offense, I think it's unlikely, barring a big busted play, which LSU is very capable of, that LSU runs the ball for 160, 180 yards in this game. I find that to be unlikely. I think LSU's rushing total probably comes in somewhere in the neighborhood of 90 yards. So you got to find your other 300 yards, 270 yards in the air. And Garrett Nussmeier is very capable of doing that. And it doesn't all have to be down the field. But that's got to be cleaned up. I'm not concerned with Garrett Nussmeier's accuracy. He's got accuracy. He did it all last year. They've got to find a way to get that passing game rolling in this game against Florida. There's no two ways about it because it's the strength of your team. Florida hasn't seen anything like this, so I don't know what their pass defense looks like. It'll be tested early and often in this game on Saturday night. Briefly, let's look at the other side of this coin with Florida running the football. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. I believe Billy Napier will look at what Florida did last week against South Florida, and he will make an adjustment because they got the ball to Jaden Ball, and he was averaging north of 11 yards per carry on the ground on their first drive. I mean, and none of it was a 60-yard chunk. It was like 10, 16, 13, 11, 10. Like they were giving him the ball. He got 6 touches, and then they went away from it. Started throwing the ball. They're not going to make that mistake again. But here's the deal. I do have confidence in LSU's front 7 to shut that down. I think Bro, McKinley, Gooden, Guillory, Pyburn, Payton, Relaford, Butler, Weeks, Perkins, Halsey, that whole group is going to be a force against the run all year. And Florida hasn't done a great job in run blocking this year. They did on that one drive against South Florida. They've allowed 18 tackles for loss in 2 games. That is setting up negative plays. And we talked about this yesterday. You do that to Florida's run game and you put them behind the chains and you make DJ Lagway in front of that crowd with that defensive coordinator LSU's got and make plays, that's the recipe for LSU to have some real success. But you've got to stop the run first for that to happen. And I believe Billy Napier will come to Baton Rouge understanding what they got away from last week and trying to get back to that this week. The difference is this LSU team is ready for that. I expect some old school LSU football in that building tomorrow where a team hands the ball off and boom, line of scrimmage, that guy goes down. And that crowd goes nuts. That's what I expect to see in this game a lot. And that puts a lot of pressure on DJ Lagway. And so essentially this is a roundabout way of talking like, hey, these 2 quarterbacks are going to have a lot on their plate on Saturday night. This is a big, big spot for both of them with a lot of pressure on both of them. DJ Lagway is kind of carrying the weight of Florida's program. Garrett Nussmeier wants to win a championship in his final year. That's what he came back to do. You're a long way from that right now in early September. But you can take a step on Saturday night in Death Valley. I think these 2 quarterbacks are going to have to be on their A game to win a game. I think it's going to be a close scoring game. And I think that it's going to be entertaining inside Tiger Stadium. There's a lot of talent on this team. Make no mistake. Like Florida got embarrassed last week. That is not to discredit the talent they've got on that team. And that includes the offense, which stunk last week. You've got an All-American center. You've got a 5-star quarterback. You've got Jaden Ball, who's an all-SEC type running back. Trey Wilson was a 5-star recruit wide receiver who's explosive as a playmaker. We've talked about the 2 defensive linemen they've got. Like Florida's got dudes. This is Billy Napier's best roster by a good bit. Last week was a stunner. And it's embarrassing, but it doesn't mean they can't play. LSU can too. It's going to be a wild one inside Tiger Stadium. I'm excited to get to it. Let me get you our game day schedule. Once again, we talked about it at the end of the first hour, but for those that are just tuning in, tomorrow you can find our game day coverage at Eagle 98.1 simulcast here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Starts at 1:30. Charles Handegriff and Matt Musso from Rouse's on Burbank. They'll be there from 1:30 until 4:30. They'll hand things off to the LSU Sports Radio Network. That is me, Brandon Taylor, Marlon Favorite on campus. We'll be with you for 90 minutes from 4:30 to 6 o'clock. Hand off to the broadcast team, Gordy Rush, Jacob Hester, voice of the Tigers, Chris Blair. 30 minutes after it goes final, me, Brandon, Marlon with you for an hour on the Fighting Tiger postgame report on the LSU Sports Radio Network. 90 minutes after the score goes final, Charles Handegriff, Richard Dixon right here in the studio. They'll take your phone calls on Eagle 98.1 Game Day's post-game show. So 1:30 p.m. to about 2 o'clock in the morning, we'll be with you live from Baton Rouge for a big one between LSU and Florida, and I am fired up for it. This city is going to be a lot of fun tonight. If you're coming on in, be careful when you do so. Enjoy the town this evening, and tomorrow should be a wild day on campus, and we're looking forward to bringing all of it to you here on the Guarantee family of networks. We got to play some Take It or Leave It. We got to get my final picks for Saints and 49ers, as well as LSU and Florida. We will do all that over the final 30 minutes next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Genesis of Baton Rouge, genesisofbatonrouge.com, America's best warranty. They advertise it, and it is the truth. It's industry leading what they're doing over at Genesis of Baton Rouge. So when you make that purchase and you become a Genesis driver, you're talking about a powertrain warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. You're talking about a new vehicle warranty, 5 years, 60,000 miles, bumper to bumper. 5 years on that warranty. How about 24/7 enhanced roadside assistance? Never get stranded. 5 years, unlimited miles. As much as you drive that Genesis, you will have that roadside assistance as well as complimentary valet scheduled maintenance, oil changes, air filters, wiper fluids and blades, all that stuff that's a nuisance to get taken care of. They can help you out with it, and they can valet it to you, bring it right back to you. Genesis of Baton Rouge. Find the entire inventory online at genesisofbatonrouge.com, genesisofbatonrouge.com.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp.
Shows brought to you by Corks, Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Just delicious jumbo Gulf shrimp, crispy, clean fried catfish. Gotta love some fried seafood, especially out there on campus on a gorgeous fall Saturday. Gonna be a little warm tomorrow. Should be a fun one on campus if you're looking to feed your tailgate. Corks, happy to do it. Check out the menu online, corksfishandshrimp.com.
Would have been real nice if we could have had the weather from Monday on Saturday, because that was incredible.
I think I've made a decision.
Okay.
I'm going with shorts again tomorrow.
Yeah, you have to.
I mean, it has been the last 4 years I've worn shorts to that season opener against Nichols, Grambling, Southern Tech. I feel like if I'm going to work, I should wear pants. Like, that's a reasonable thing. Everybody in the press box is in pants. Everybody in the press box doesn't have to sit in that trailer for 2 hours when it's 98 degrees on the concrete. It's just, it's oppressive out there.
It's untenable.
I'm willing to do it. I'm happy to do it. I love doing the pregame show. It's a lot of fun. Got to see a lot of listeners out there, and like, it's fun to hang out with Brandon and Marlon, talk some football, and be a part of the game day team. It is hot, and I usually go to pants the second home game in week 3. I'm going shorts again tomorrow. It's just like, I'm already drenched in sweat from sitting there. It's not a lot of ventilation where we sit there in that trailer. So I'm not going to complain about the heat. I'm just going to tell you that it's going to be hot, and I'm wearing shorts. That's just what it's going to be.
No,
so,
Hunt. No one is going to. No one's going to say you're unprofessional because you're wearing shorts and it's 105 degrees outside.
The high is 97, and we start the pregame show at 4:30 p.m. on a concrete block.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
You're going to wear shorts. That's what you're going to do. And for right now, we're going to play Take It or Leave It.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Presented to you by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer, crafted by America's oldest brewery. Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
You know what's really good when it's 98 degrees on a concrete block on a game day?
What's good?
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. I'm guessing there are multiple listeners out there that are planning on having a first beer tomorrow and planning on having a second beer, and there may be another beer to follow after that one. If that's the case, you're looking for a delicious, light, refreshing beer, Flight by Yingling is perfect for these hot Louisiana game days. So get on by wherever you purchase your beer and get a Flight by Yingling 12-pack. Bring it onto the tailgate and enjoy that this weekend. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
Alrighty, first one here. Caden Durham over 100 yards in this game on Saturday. Take it or leave it.
I'm going to leave that. I'll tell you this. If he gets over 100 yards, LSU's going to win the game.
Easily.
It goes back like that Arkansas game last year where he was just, they really ran it great. Well, that's when the offense is at its best when that's happening. It just doesn't happen very often. And Arkansas doesn't have any dudes up front. Florida's got dudes. So I think it's going to be tough for LSU to run the ball in the game tomorrow. I'm not saying Caden Durham's going for 11 yards, but he's not going over 100 in my opinion.
All right, next one. Braylon Moore starts. Take it or leave it.
I'll take that.
I'll take it.
I feel very, very good about that. Certainly, Brian Kelly said he practiced fully yesterday, so that's not exactly breaking news here on this Thursday, but expect to see Braylon Moore in the starting lineup. I'm curious to see how that goes. I said this earlier when we were talking to Preston. I'm hopeful that he can gut through this game and he can take some days off next week before Southeastern Louisiana, and then you got to go to Oxford. He could probably use a week off that ankle, but this is a big game. He's your best guy. If he can give you 84% tomorrow, he's probably got to give you 84% tomorrow. That's a tough order when you're talking about how good Caleb Downs is on the interior for Florida.
All right, next one. Gold games. Take it or leave it.
I'll take it. Like, it's fine.
I'll take
You
it.
want to do a gold game? I'm just telling you that LSU doesn't listen.
No, that's the so. I don't.
It doesn't hurt anybody to do it.
No, of course not. No.
It hurts my soul when they go out there in gold uniforms. That I'm
yes,
against.
yes.
You want to tell the fans what to wear with the understanding that only 41% of them are going to do it? That's fine with me.
Okay. I mean, I just think it's.
Would you wear gold?
I don't. Sometimes I don't even know. I think that's the biggest problem. Is sometimes people don't even know about it. Like,
I mean, you got a lot of season ticket holders that aren't spending a lot of time on Facebook and
No.
Twitter, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But, like, that's where the general message is passed along.
yeah, it is. I guess I would, but I mean, yeah, if I was going to the game and I knew it, maybe I would. But I don't even know if I have a gold LSU shirt. Actually, I think they're all just like purple and white.
I need to count my LSU shirts. It is
Yeah, you
a
should.
significant number. I would put the over-under at 14.
Yeah, that's
14
probably,
golf shirts.
Yeah, just golf shirts. People
Oh,
make some
it's way
t-shirts,
over that
too.
with T-shirts.
Yeah, and then maybe some quarter zips in there too.
Two quarter zips and 3 hoodies,
Yeah,
and then a sweater.
you got a lot.
Got a lot of stuff.
All right, moving on. Virg Osbury told Matt Moscona that LSU will cancel its Arizona State series. Take it or leave it.
I believe the report was that it's likely that they're going to make some changes to that. You can read about it all on LouisianaSports.net right now. Matt had a great sit down with Virg and has a great story up. This is in line with what everyone else is doing.
But
There
will
were
you take it or leave it?
I would take it.
I'll take
There are
it.
3 different schools that have announced this morning that they are canceling non-conference Power 5 games with the now new legislation that says they're going to play 9 league games. You have schools like Florida and Kentucky and South Carolina that already have a built-in rival. They're not going to schedule another one and 9 league games. All of a sudden, you're talking about 9 league games and 2 P5 games. That is 11 Power 5 games. People aren't going to do that. So while you can sit here and say that it's destroying, big-time matchups at a conference, yeah, but it's also adding big-time matchups in the conference. So teams are not going to sign up to go play 11 out of 12 in Power 5s unless everyone does it. And if everyone does it, then everyone will do it, obviously. But right now, not everyone's doing it. And you got Indiana sneaking into the playoff with a terrible football team. And nobody cared. Like, everyone's looking at that. Well, that's ridiculous that I'm taking these off the schedule. So looks like LSU's going to make some adjustments. Louisiana Tech may be here again next year. They're probably still going to entertain the SMU game and the Houston game because those took the place of the Oklahoma scheduled, and then Oklahoma came into the conference. But LSU has kind of been light on scheduling in advance because they saw these 9 games coming. So I'm fine with it.
All right, next one. Spencer Rattler will pass for more yards than Mac Jones. Take it or leave it.
I will leave it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Matt Jones will throw for more. I think the Saints will have more success running the ball than San Francisco will, and that is with Christian McCaffrey running the football. So I like Spencer Rattler to move the ball. I don't think he's got to do it all himself. I think the Saints need to run the ball. So I'll take Mac Jones to throw for more yards, especially in Kyle Shanahan's offense.
All right, last one. The Shark Dogs +8 tomorrow. Take it or leave it.
I got to leave it.
Yeah.
I can't. If there's another 4-year-old team coming around, I mean, it's bad.
The thing
it's
is,
real bad.
Hunt, we got to get the Shark Dogs some. Myers needs some help. Okay, he's the only one out there.
Apparently, I wasn't at practice yesterday. Apparently, there were some goals getting put in the net yesterday. At
Oh,
practice
really? Okay.
For the young Shark Dogs.
All
Now
right.
there were no 4-year-olds out there.
Yeah,
It's tough. I mean,
It is.
these teams that in college football gets their butts kicked on Saturday, they get a big check for it.
They do.
And the Shark Dogs are not seeing any check
The Shark
for
Dogs
this.
need something. They should be getting paid for this because the 4-year-olds need to
They
be playing the
get
4-year-olds.
treats after the game. They had Capri Suns last week.
That's
they were fired
good.
up.
That's good, but we may need a little bit more from this.
I'll tell you what. The Myers man does not like it when the other team scores 50 goals and his team scores
Would
1.
you like it if the other team scored 50 goals on you?
A lot of the Shark Dogs don't seem to be as bothered as Myers.
Okay, but Myers is clearly a competitor. He's clearly a really good player, and he cares about the game.
He's also not very good at coming. Not a selfless player. He won't come out of the game.
That's all
and then
right.
he does come out of the game. He's yelling when he can go back in.
Look, that's what you want from a guy.
Sometimes you got to take a breather and get the water bottle.
You want somebody on your team that just doesn't want to come off the game. You want him to be hungry like that, Hunt.
Mm-hmm. The Shark Dogs, if they're playing 4-year-olds, it just sounds like the rest of the game's against 4-year-olds.
Oh no,
I'm not taking the 8 points. I'm laying them eight goals. I mean, they didn't cover 20 last week. That's
a pretty stinky line.
I'm pretty sure Mia Hamm was on the other team. This chick, she was putting it in. She was putting it in the net. She scored 10 goals.
Yeah, that's a stinky line though. Plus 8. I was expecting like maybe plus 15 or 20. So I might take the Shark Dogs.
I haven't scouted the other team. I can't handicap it like the Otter. But we'll see what the Shark Dogs can do 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. One more reminder about our Football Friday schedules all fall long here. 101.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. We start with OTB 7 to 10, then 10 to 1 live at lunch from Rufino's. 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I'm here for the Hunt Palmer Show. Matt drives you home on AFR from 3 to 6. 6 o'clock, Kay Wassan takes over for Louisiana Prep Preview. Monster week here in South Louisiana for high school football. He'll get you set for it. And then Catholic High will kick things off at 7. Their pregame show about 6:45, and that game runs till about 9. So you're talking about live and local, 7 to 9 p.m. tomorrow for LSU game day. 1 o'clock till about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning over on Eagle 98.1. It starts with Eagle 98.1 game day from Rouse's at 1:30. So lock us in all day on Football Fridays, all afternoon long on Saturday. Very much looking forward to LSU and Florida. There's only one more order of business here to handle on the Hunt Palmer Show on this Football Friday. That is picking the Saints and 49ers. That is picking LSU and Florida. We will do that next.
The Hunt Palmer Show. This is the Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Quirks, Cajun fried fish and shrimp.
Really a fun event over at Lod Cook today. Football Fridays at the Cook. LSU Alumni Association puts it on, and they're gracious enough to have us over as partner there. And myself got to sit down with a panel with Charles Alexander, who will have his number honored in Tiger Stadium tomorrow. Long overdue and well-deserved for a consensus All-American, a college football Hall of Famer who will have his number 4 inside Tiger Stadium forever. I got to sit down and chat with him. Kevin Falk, who was certainly integral in LSU's win over Florida in 1997. Got to ask him about that. Had Jared Mitchell, who was there for LSU in 2007 as a wide receiver before winning a national championship as a baseballer in 2009. So just get to talk to him. And then Colin Jeter there as well. He's with the LSU Alumni Association. Got to lead a panel with those 4 guests. It was great. Shea Dixon was there for some recruiting. Matt Flynn and Jacob Hester talked about the 97 game as well. Gordy broke down Florida. So great event over there at Lod Cook, and we'll have a couple more later on this fall. And so it's very cool to kind of kick the weekend off with that. I told you at the top of the show, these are my favorite shows that we do all year. These Friday shows before big home games, because I know that this town is going to be on fire tonight, and it should be an awesome environment inside Tiger Stadium tomorrow. So wanted to give a hat tip to the Alumni Association for having us out. We'll talk to Colin again next Tuesday, but it was a great start to this Friday, and we're just keeping the vibes rolling here on a show brought to you by Cork's Cajun Fried Fish and Shrimp. Right now, we will pick Saints and 49ers. I've talked about it a lot over the last 2 days. This game changed when you saw that Brock Purdy and George Kittle were unavailable. And I think that compromises what the 49ers can do in this game. Shanahan's a great offensive mind, and Mac Jones does have some talent, and he's played a lot of football in the NFL. It just hasn't been particularly good football in the NFL. They're going to try to get the ball to Christian McCaffrey a lot, but their number 1 receiver in this game is Ricky Pearsall. And I don't mean to offend the Florida fans who are here in Baton Rouge, who are locked in here in denigrating one of their better players in the last 5 or 6 years. But is he a number 1 receiver in the NFL? I don't think so. I like the Saints defense in the game on Sunday, and I think that they're going to run the football a little bit better, even they did last week against the Cardinals, where they were fourth in the league in terms of yards before contact with Alvin Kamara. Get the ball to Kamara, get the ball to Miller, run the football, and take some pressure off of Spencer Rattler. Last week, I thought the Saints would be close in the fourth quarter. I thought they would have a chance, and I didn't trust them to get over the top and win that game. That ended up being exactly what happened. This week, I still think the Saints are going to be close in the fourth quarter. This time, I think the Saints win on Sunday. I'm going to pick the Saints to beat the 49ers. My final 21-20. One way or another, get that one more point than San Francisco. Get to 1-1 before this brutal 2-game stretch on the road. And if you can do that and get that win, it doesn't put as much pressure on you when you go on the road for the next couple of weeks. And then you've got a couple of winnable games at home. I'm just trying to get some early wins banked so that it's just not completely miserable over there on campus. Like that's on campus, in the facility. That's what you're trying to do at this point. I think that the Saints win on Sunday. So give me the black and gold over San Francisco. Now time to pick the LSU-Florida game, 6:30 kickoff inside Tiger Stadium. These two teams were bad on offense last week. LSU was bad against Louisiana Tech. Florida was bad against South Florida. I didn't think LSU was bad on offense against Clemson. How much of that is because of Braylon Moore? I don't know. I think it's some, but not a ton. I think more of it was because Garrett Nussmeier didn't play well in the game. I think he plays better on Saturday. You got DJ Lagway on the other side. He played bad last week. He's played good in his time at Florida, certainly in November last year, certainly against LSU. They're going to try to get the ball down the field. That's what DJ Lagway is best at. I trust LSU's defense against just about anybody, and I certainly trust them against this Florida offense that I don't think is great. If Jaden Baugh is put into a box and he's not able to get free, and LSU holds him under 80 yards, I don't think Florida's got enough punch on the outside to beat LSU. I know Trey Wilson's a big talent. I know DJ Lagway's a big talent. If LSU can stop Jaden Baugh, and I think they can, it becomes very difficult for Florida to score in this game. On the flip side, LSU, I don't have a ton of confidence in them running the ball, but they've got to get the passing game going. They've got to take what's there when it's there, and when what's there is the deep ball, it's got to be hit. To me, this game feels a lot like Clemson. It feels a lot like LSU's offense may sputter a little bit, may not be high flying, but that defense is going to be smothering. It was smothering at Clemson. I think it's going to be smothering in front of a fired up crowd tomorrow. And that analysis leads me to a tight game that's low scoring. I don't see LSU winning this game by 20 points on Saturday. In fact, I think Florida may have a lead here and there first half, second half. But it's going to be nip and tuck all the way, because I think these two defenses are going to have their way up front. That puts pressure on the quarterbacks. I trust one quarterback more than the other quarterback. I trust Garrett Nussmeier. I think LSU wins this game, but it's closer than maybe a lot of people think. I've got LSU winning 20-17. Is that going to put off some alarms about the LSU offense? Maybe, and that may be warranted. But I think that the defense is good enough to get them to a victory in that stadium. If you're going on Saturday night, get crazy. That defense is going to need you, and I think they're going to show out for you. Still have issues on the offensive front. No, Florida's got some dudes that LSU's going to have to block. But I trust the home team with that defense in that stadium. They're going to be a hard team to beat. I got LSU beating Florida by 3 points on Saturday night in Death Valley, moving to 3-0. That'll get you to a breather week against Southeastern coming up next week. If you missed any of our show today on this Football Friday, catch it on demand. Do it quickly because the games are coming up this weekend. Talk to Billy Napier and Brian Kelly at the top of the show and what's on the line for those two coaches. It's a lot, in my opinion. Talk to Preston Guy of TigerBait.com at 1:15. He did a film study on LSU. What did he see? He told us you can find that at Hunt on LSU. Got you set up for the NFL weekend to come, as well as a preview of Saints and Cardinals. SEC picks against the spread. I'm going 7-3 this week. We've already established it. They're all at 2 o'clock. And talk some LSU passing game before take it or leave it in the second hour. That's it for me. We've done all we can do. Matt Moscona is going to drive you home next on After Further Review. We'll be back same time, same place on Monday, reacting to LSU, Florida, and Saints 49ers in the weekend in the Southeastern Conference. Have a great weekend. Go Tigers. You've been listening to a Friday edition of The Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge, swingeasygcbr.com. Let you in on a little secret. I'm about to head over to Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. Where's that? It's on Seagan, right there at Perkins. I'm going to hit some golf shots. May even sip a cold beer over there at Swing Easy, because that's what you can do. You can work on your game on the driving range setting on one of their 3 golf simulators. You can hang out with friends. You want to watch football this weekend, but looking for a place to do it, nobody wants to host? Swing Easy Golf Club will host you. You can bring a whole crew there. They got couches, chairs, televisions. You can all hit golf shots. It's a ton of fun over there at Swing Easy Golf Club. Memberships are available, whether that's individual or corporate memberships. Want to entertain clients inside playing some golf? You can do that over at Swing Easy Golf Club. Check them out online, swingeasygcbr.com. That's swingeasygcbr.com. Go see them. They're on Seagan near Perkins. I'm headed that way right now. Going to hit some golf shots. Looking forward to it. Swing Easy Golf Club right here in Baton Rouge.